Hi everyone, NETX5 here, and the time has come to reveal my top 10 films of 2018. Now, for those who have been following my channel for a while, will notice that I'm doing this type of video early. And the reason for that is, for me personally, 2018 was one of the best years for film. There were so many fantastic movies that I saw this year, and that made compiling a top 10 very difficult to do. And the following 10 films I consider to be the absolute best. And I refuse to remove a single one of these movies off the list. Before I continue, some viewers may notice I'm leaving films like Green Book out, and that's because not all of the big Oscar contenders are out in Australia yet, as most of those films won't be released here until January and February. So if I do end up liking those films, I will be adding them to my 2019 list. One more thing, before I get to the countdown, there was a lot of great movies that I saw that unfortunately just missed the cut, and I want to give those films an honorable mention. Films like The Other Side of the Wind, Searching, and Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. And with that out of the way, let's get into the countdown, starting with number 10, Caliber. This is a film that didn't get much attention, as some passed it off as another average Netflix film, while it flew under the radar for others. But this movie was so much better than it needed to be. When I was compiling my top 10, I kept thinking about this film, as it definitely left an impact. Not only was this an excellent first feature from director Matt Palmer, but this was also one of the most intense and nail-biting thrillers in recent memory. This was a film that emotionally shook me, and as I said in my review, the whole film had a level of tension that continued to build and a pressure that continued to rise. This is definitely one of the hidden gems that is on Netflix, and if you have an account, this is a must-see. Number 9, A Star is Born. All I have to say about this film is it was one of the most beautiful and heartbreaking films I have seen. The songs were perfect. The direction from first-time director Bradley Cooper was superb, and the real standout in the film was Lady Gaga, who gave us one of the most touching performances of the year. As a singer who starts out being treated like trash but continues to fight for her dreams before an opportunity arises that changes her life. The chemistry between Cooper and Lady Gaga made it feel like the two loved each other in one of the sweetest and genuine romances I have seen in a while. So if you by chance missed this film, go and check it out. You will not regret it. Number 8, BlacKkKlansman. Originally, I had this film below A Star is Born, and the reason I moved it up the list was because of its impact and power that stuck with me, and for being one of the more timely films to come out. Spike Lee is a director who's able to tell some of the most grounded stories that we have ever seen on film. His films like Do the Right Thing, Malcolm X, and 25th Hour have told stories about characters that are put in situations in which they need to rise up from, while also being films that feel significant, and BlacKkKlansman is both these things. The film itself is one of Spike Lee's best since 25th Hour, and a lot of that has to do with multiple elements. The performances from John David Washington and Adam Driver that added so much weight to this movie, the exceptional cinematography, and the story itself, which I was engaged with from the word go. While some minor things do hold it back from being a true masterpiece, I can't deny that this is a fantastic, well-crafted movie and is worth a viewing. Number 7, Sweet Country. This is one of the best Australian films in years. I can't even remember the last Australian film that was this well executed and this well put together. This film reminded me how beautiful the Australian outback is, which is helped by the editing and cinematography, which helps turn this film into a technical masterpiece. The story was very well told, and I found myself invested in what was going on, and the performances from everyone involved was excellent. This is a film I would very much recommend. Number 6, The Old Man and the Gun. On the surface, this film doesn't seem all that special, as the plot is very simple and straightforward, but what makes this film stand out is two things. Firstly, David Lowery's direction immensely added a lot to the film, by making it feel like a film from the 70s while still being a modern film. And the second thing is the performance from Robert Redford. For Redford's final performance, he gives us a charming and likable character, which he is very much known for playing. The film itself is also very relaxing to watch, as there is no stressing moments, which was a welcome change that I haven't seen in a film in a while. As a final film and a tribute for one of the biggest legends in the film industry, this is one of the best ones to go out on. Number 5, Isle of Dogs. This was one of my most anticipated films of the year, and it did not disappoint, as Wes Anderson has consistently made great film after great film. Anderson's very identifiable style continues to be one of the major factors why I enjoy his films so much. And with what he delivers with Isle of Dogs, he gives us what I think is his most visually spectacular film. The Japanese culture adds a lot to the film's look, as the wide variety of colors stand out in every frame. The film is a worthy follow-up to Wes Anderson's previous animated feature, Fantastic Mr. Fox, with the animation being improved and more defined in every single aspect. The musical score from Anderson's longtime collaborator Alexander Desplat is both quirky and intriguing, and the story, while being very simple, it still very much felt like an epic adventure. While I wouldn't rank the film as Anderson's absolute best, I would still rate it very high, as the movies that Anderson keeps releasing continues to keep getting better and continues to evolve in a variety of ways. Number 4, Mission Impossible Fallout. This is the film that this franchise has been building towards. The whole series has been a bit of an up and down roller coaster, with the series having a low point and a high point. But then we get to Fallout, and this was much better than I ever expected it to be. This film takes all of the good and memorable elements from the previous films to give the viewers something truly special. The story I was very much compelled by, and the action scenes were some of the most spectacular and expertly executed I've ever seen. Despite the nearly 2.5-hour runtime, there was not a dull moment, as everything had a purpose and I was invested in every moment of the film. I very much want this to be the final film of the franchise, as this is as high as I can see the series get, because honestly, it won't get any better than this. Number 3, You Were Never Really Here. This will not be for everybody, as this is a film that does not hold your hand in regards to the story, and this is also a film that requires patience, as it takes a while for things to click into place. But for me personally, as soon as it started, I was caught by this film's elegance. Firstly, Lynn Ramsey's direction deserves mention, as she delivers a truly unique experience, as well as giving the viewers a fascinating character study of the main lead, portrayed flawlessly by Joaquin Phoenix, who continues to show his versatility as an actor. A very strong and brutal masterpiece that is engaging to watch. Number 2, Roma. As I said in my review, this is to date the best film to ever come out on Netflix, and what we got with the final product is truly a one-of-a-kind film. This is Alfonso Cuarón's magnum opus. This movie is the perfect example of why I love films, as they can affect us in many ways. Roma was a film that broke me emotionally, as I felt a full bevy of emotions. I felt happy, I felt fear, I felt anger, and I felt sadness. Roma's cinematography, along with my number 1 film, are the 2 best shot films that I have seen from 2018. The way the camera moves felt so natural and so honest that I was stunned for a large percent of the movie. The story about a family living in Mexico, while simple, is unlike any story that has been told this beautifully before. There is so much detail that is going on in every frame that it demands multiple rewatches. This was a film experience that will stay with me for a long time. And number 1, The Favorite. Roma was almost my clear favorite of the year, as I couldn't see any other film surpass it for me. But then I was proven wrong when I saw Yorgos Lanthimos' The Favorite. This was a film that not only worked in every single aspect, but it also contained elements that immediately grabbed my attention and interest. The production design gorgeously showed off the rich detail of every single setting. The cinematography captured the whole scope of the film and presented it in a way that felt dramatic, hilarious, bizarre, and surreal. The musical score is also something truly special. The performances from Olivia Colman, Emma Stone, and Rachel Weisz were the best of their careers, and each one individually brought something to the table that made the film even more entertaining and enjoyable to watch. Thank you so much for watching. If you like what you see, be sure to like my Facebook page, follow me on Twitter, and subscribe to my channel below. As always, I'm NETX5. Thank you for watching.